Hello and welcome to the ASC Weekly number 5. We are going into the round of 16 actually, because we missed the round of 32, which I'll explain in just a minute. But this is the bronze and silver division here in week number 5. We are starting out with Dalinbe, spawning at the top right as the purple Terran. Dalinbe did quite well last week, making it to the finals in the bronze and silver division last week. So glad to see that she is back. We did do an interview with her last week, which was quite cool. She was the first interviewee of the ASC Weekly, so very cool to see her back. And her opponent, we have the Teal Protoss Defeat. And oddly enough, I think these two people actually played against each other last week. And we may have casted it as well, but, you know, luck of the draw. I am Simpatico for the ASC Weekly.
I'm Zeltsum for the ASC Weekly, and I do recall us making the joke like 6 times by now that defeat has been defeated. I think I'm getting sick of that.
Have we? Where have I been?
A couple times. Yeah, nope, we've done it a couple times. In fact, I did it, I think it was like week 2. Then you did it last week because you didn't remember, and then now I figured I'd say that.
Yeah. Yep.
I figured I'd say that now so that we didn't make that same joke again a 3rd time.
So, I'm most likely going to do that, just because I'll probably run out of shit to say, and I'll just be like, well, I'll say defeat has been defeated, and will he get this SCV kill? And he does. Oh, wow, and loses the probe himself, so, those probes are so used to dying anyway, so no big deal. Did delay the barracks just a little bit. Yeah, that friggin' robot was all like, do not kill me, I want to live, I have a reason. But no, he does not. He's nothing but a tool for the Protoss. Alright, so TVP on Zelnaga Caverns here. Should be interesting. This is a very, very standard map, and both players are playing very standardly. But of course, this is Bronze Silver Division, so standard is usually the name of the game, and it's just a matter of how well they can tweak it. Let me just lower. It sounds to me like the sound is like way too high, so I'll just go ahead and lower that a little bit. I feel like I'm having to yell just to hear myself. But any thoughts here? 2 racks going down. Tech Lab on 1 there, Zeltsum?
Tech Lab. Reaper? Nope, Marauder. Marauder concussive shells. Make concussive shells? Is he going to make concussive shells? Concussive shell expand. Very good build. Very solid. Very, very hard to break unless you know a couple pretty specific timings or get an immortal or 2. No concussive shells yet. It's just a 2nd barracks and an orbital command. Probably good to get that orbital command. It did come out quite late. Probably needs to smooth out this build. Dalinbe definitely needs to smooth out this build a lot. But this is the opening I think we saw over last week. 3 gates coming out from defeat. 2 gas, 3 gates. So I'd expect to see a tech structure as his 4th. Probably a robo. 3-gate robo, of course, quite a safe, versatile build. However, generally players prefer 2-gate robo versus Terran because you don't really need that many gateways. If they start getting immortals, get a couple gateways and a bunch of immortals. I mean, if they start getting marauders, then you can get immortals. That's what I meant. And looks like there are going to be a lot of marauders. Concussive shells finally has been begun, and marauders are beginning to get pumped.
Yeah, this is pretty much the exact play we saw out of Dalinbe last week. The 3 racks, heavy marauder play, pushing out around this time, usually actually being a little bit more aggressive this week, pushing out, or maybe just doing some housekeeping here to get rid of this probe. Usually pushes out with a handful of Marine and Marauders, which is quite a strong push at that time, especially when Stim finishes. Nice Stim timing push here. I am seeing a little bit of chatter in the Justin TV chat, excuse me, about some stream lag. If it's lagging,
No,
guys,
it's game lag.
Is it game lag? Okay, I wasn't sure, but I do apologize if that's an issue. Of course, this is the first time that we are streaming on Justin TV, for a variety of reasons that I won't go into right now. But we're still a few things to sort out on this new platform, so bear with us if there is some issues. Going back into the game, we see Defeat's going to be pushing out a little bit, maybe just doing a little bit of housekeeping of his own. Do you see a push timing here coming out of Defeat? This is obviously a 4-warp gate. Actually,
do.
It's not a 4-warp
no,
gate.
This is a 3-gate robo, like I said earlier. Just
Yeah.
listen to me, man. Listen.
I totally tune out and I read the chat because
You
It's
shouldn't
not.
do that during games because then you start talking about streams, and I'm like, "There's a freaking robo building," and then you finally shut up, and I'm like, "Okay, well it's out now," and now I don't look silly. Now I don't look spiffy because even though even though I called it already. But I don't like this timing at all. The observer is just now coming out. Typically, Pro S players get their observer at a timing that they get their observer out. They see what's going on. I guess he was just poking at the watchtower. If you're gonna poke at the watchtower, don't send your whole army because you'll get cut off, or you could potentially get cut off and then die, and that's bad. Scanning. Oh, nice scan right on the robo, seeing everything that's going on. Looks like Dolinbe is actually in a little bit of a lead right now. Ahead 47 to 36 food, just straight up macroing better, basically. And so for the time being, it appears that Dolinbe is ahead. Command center going up, Nexus going up. Expansion for the Protoss player coming out slightly later. It's come to my attention recently after talking with Mega Man, member of Team Limited. He very high level Protoss player. He's come to the conclusion, and I agree that 2-base Terran tends to be significantly stronger than 2-base Protoss, but Protoss has the advantage on 1-base, and that comes from just the sheer cost efficiency of Marine Marauder versus Gateway units. You really have to have a good number of Immortals or some kind of tech to be able to deal with them effectively, and you can't get Tier 3 tech on 2 bases very efficiently. So at the moment, I would definitely say Dolinbe has the upper hand. Taking out that observer, not quite taking out that observer, that is kind of bad. That is really bad.
Yeah, wasting a scan to not get an observer. That's a lot of wasted minerals. What is it? 270 minerals that um, a mule will bring in during its lifespan,
Well,
its robotic
people
lifespan.
people don't actually get 270 minerals from a mule. They mine 270 minerals faster than they would have normally mined 270 minerals.
Oh, good point. Right. It seems like I don't know. I kind of feel like this is going to be a bit of a race to 200. Um, I'm kind of surprised to see. I don't remember seeing tanks from Deline Bay last time. I definitely didn't see. We didn't see ghosts, but or maybe she's going to be switching it over for the starport.
Robotics may on the way though, so Colossi are definitely on the way out.
Good choice. Obviously, Colossi or High Templar obviously would be a good choice as well, or both in the late game. But against the
absolutely can't support that until you have 3 bases.
Colossus as well as High Templar, or because there's a lot of 2-base Colossus, right? Or
Colossus
you're
High Templar.
Yeah,
to get Colossus High Templar, you have to have 3
that
bases.
That is so resource heavy. It's unreal.
Like you don't, you have to actually play Protoss and have because my 3-base plan is actually Colossus High Templar, and when I get to that point, I'm still like really struggling to get enough gas to get all the stuff I want out, and I have to have this really zealot heavy composition. It's really insane amount of gas. So just Colossus on the way. Still no extended thermal lance. No Colossus have been begun. It looks like defeat is gonna push out with a few gateway units. I don't like this choice very much because really what you want to do is if you're gonna tech, make use of the tech. And again, it's been just taking his army and poking at the watchtower, and that's pretty risky because against Marine Marauder, especially with concussive shells. Basically, when your opponent has concussive shells, you have to be prepared to commit to an attack. And just poking around with your army is not a good idea because they can start picking off units pretty easily. Take a probe, poke out the watchtower. That's really a probe's job. Poking out a watchtower is a probe's job.
Still no orbital command at this natural for Deline Bay. That's got to be a mistake by now. She's had the minerals for quite a while. Obviously, you want to get that orbital command as fast as possible. Most people actually get it before they even send it over to their natural. It kind of feels like Defeat is pushing out because he feels like he has a lot of units. And we are going to see an engagement here. Marauders coming up. They're going to... Protoss getting a nicer arc a little bit quicker. So force field's going down to aid in the retreat. Neither player losing too much in that engagement, both kind of just pulling back, not wanting to commit to anything. Not necessarily a bad idea. I do feel like Deline Bay, Deline Bay is definitely ahead by about 15 food at this point. Nowhere game-winning just yet, but a couple tanks out. Viking production has begun. Probably just blindly countering Colossus. I don't think she has seen the Colossus. Okay, so the Colossus has been seen, so Viking production kicked in because of it. Obviously, very, very good decision-making there. It'll be interesting to see when either of these players decide to get their third base, or if the lead base kind of just try and do some kind of death push which I don't know. I don't think it'll work too well.
If there's one thing I've noticed after watching Bronze Silver League is players don't tend to like getting more than 2 bases. It's a little bit weird, but they don't feel comfortable on more than 2 bases.
Well, it's more, and you know what? It's. I was in bronze a lot more recently than you, and I think a lot of it is oh my god, I have to defend a third, and that idea of defending a third can be pretty scary. But we are going to see an engagement here. Siege tank's not sieged up yet. They want to get siege as quickly as possible. If they are going to engage here, nope, just going to pull back.
A couple nice blitz kills to cut off Marauders, and then he did nothing about it.
Oh, it's
Kill
actually
the
going to cost the
Marauders!
Zealot. Oh, unfortunate.
Oh no! Yeah, you could have had 2 free Marauders, and instead you lost a Zealot for no reason. Ugh.
Macro slipping a little bit. Delimbe needs to increase her production structures. Could probably just toss down an expansion or 2 just for the heck of it. If you got the minerals, why not? Or get more production structures up. More production means you can reinforce your army quicker, and obviously spend your minerals a lot faster. She's still going on the original 3 racks that she had when she was at, like, you know, 25 food or whatever.
And
so,
you can see
so
the
that's
result
pretty...
of that, almost hitting 1,000 minerals in the bank, and that's one of the big results of having not enough production facilities. Really, definitely she needs to learn those timings, get those production facilities in a timely fashion. Not really sure why this isn't an
engagement
orbital
here.
yet.
We do have the Stalkers and Colossus pushing out. Siege tanks are sieged up except for this one, which is going to get killed pretty quickly. Siege tanks doing their job though, pushing back and doing quite a bit of damage there. Force Field's not doing a whole lot there because the siege tanks and everything else kind of just sat behind. Got a few kills there, but nothing too significant. Scanning and seeing that observer, that was pro. That's like seeing a little blinky thing and scanning for it. Third base now going down for Delimbe, so wisely starting to spend those minerals. Another engagement here. These zealots are just marching into. They're doing so much damage being done before anything. They get a single hit off. These Colossus are doing quite a bit of damage though from behind. They might get a kill or 2 with these Vikings. No, gonna pull back smartly. So Delimbe has really contained defeat on 2 bases for a while now, expanding behind this, very smart, and defeat kind of just walking into it over and over again, expecting a different result, not doing quite enough damage, and we're going to see Delimbe push out a little bit here now.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised it worked out the way it has. Letting Protoss get this many Colossus is a problem. Kind of poking away at the... the tanks finally sieged up. That took a little bit too long. They're going to do a lot of damage to the Stalkers, but the Zealots are going to get up here and do a lot of damage to the siege tanks right back. And there aren't quite enough units from Delimbe to take care of all of these units from defeat. Not to focus firing the weakened Colossi. Losing all those Vikings. Surprised you didn't pull back sooner. That was not particularly ideal.
No, and we are going to see this Protoss Death Ball advance. No, it's going to go ahead and retreat. Not necessarily a bad idea. Probably wants to expand. And yes, it's tossing down that expansion at that gold base. Wants to get the economy because as it stands right now, well, I mean, she has the command center down, but it's not doing anything just now. Saturation is getting a little bit oversaturated. Minerals running low at the main. Probably wants to transfer some over. Still no orbital command at the 2nd or 3rd bases. Very surprising. I would get a planetary fortress at that 3rd, of course. Planetary fortresses can make them so impenetrable, and they have to lose a lot of army value to take them down. So yeah, definitely could afford a lot more production structures here. I am seeing a 2nd factory, which is good. Unfortunately, not producing out of both of them though. Needs about another 4 racks probably on 3 bases to pump out enough units. But luckily, defeat isn't macroing too well right now either. Does not actually, I don't know. He has 4. I can see 4 warp gates, 5, 6, 7 warp gates. So doing a little bit better than Delimbe, but not by too much.
Yeah, 3rd base for defeat now on the gold. Not sure if that was the best choice, although it is a little bit easier to defend. Although if he's choosing to get the gold just for the gold minerals, he should probably rethink his resource distribution, since he was for a while quite high on minerals and very completely broke on gas. Moving in to take this 3rd now, to destroy Delimbe's 3rd rather, and that's definitely the right choice to be making. Delimbe completely holed up in her natural, and it looks like he's probably going to lose this. Losing this natural, or this 3rd rather, pretty much means pretty much means game, as she's now going to be way behind in economy.
That was a devastating blow economically. That definitely